Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to make cornbread that goes with the stew that I made yesterday. Normally when I make it, I make a really big pan and then I save in a freezer bag the leftover cornbread to do chicken and dressing later. But I have 3 pans of chicken and dressing in the freezer right now, so I'm just going to do a small pan today. In this bowl we have 1 beaten egg and 1 teaspoon of bacon grease, because if you're going to make real cornbread you need bacon grease. To this we're going to add about a cup of buttermilk. You may need more or less depending on how much cornbread you want to make. And we're going to mix that up really well. I'm not making a terribly big pan today. Like I say, it's just my husband and myself, so we're going to have a small pan today. This is the best kind of cornmeal for making cornbread. This is the only kind I will make my cornbread with. Believe me, the kind of cornmeal you get makes a difference. Now, I don't really, as I told you yesterday, I don't really measure things when I do it. I just kind of eyeball it. And I'm going to guess this is about a cup that goes in there. When you're making cornbread, you want to just kind of, you may have to add liquid to it, you may have to add cornmeal to it, but you want it a little bit thicker than cornbread batter, pancake batter. So we're going to mix it until it's kind of smooth. And while I'm doing that, I have my cast iron skillet in the oven at 400 degrees with some butter in it, letting it get really hot. Because the best way to make cornbread is in a cast iron skillet. But you want to butter the cast iron skillet and have it hot when you pour the cornbread mixture in there. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, get one. The best place to get one is a thrift store or a yard sale. Because if you buy a brand new one, they haven't been seasoned or used. And the more a cast iron skillet is used and seasoned, the better it gets. Now this is White Lily self-rising flour. I put, if I can get it out of there, a little less than a tablespoon of this in there. It just kind of helps it be a little lighter and fluffier and not quite so dense as it would be just with cornmeal. And whisk that in there really well. And you see that consistency? That's what you want. However big of a pan or how small of a pan you're making, that's the consistency that you want your cornbread mixture to be when you put it in your pan. So I'm going to get my pan out of the oven. Okay, now you see I just got my pan out of the oven. You can see about how much butter I have in the bottom of the pan. You want it to be very buttery and very hot. Then you're going to pour your cornbread mixture into the pan. I don't know if you can hear that with my dog barking like crazy outside, but it does make a sizzling sound when you put it in a really hot pan. And you'll see some of the butter will come to the top and cover the top of the cornbread. That's fine. Just kind of spread it out. And then we're going to put it back in the 400 degree oven for about 20 minutes. And then we'll be back with the finished product. Okay, so we have our cornbread out of the oven. I left it in there just a little bit longer than 20 minutes. And that was a little bit much. But nice golden cornbread. It doesn't really rise up because it is cornbread. But that is why you put a little bit of flour in there to keep it from being too dense. Now we're going to try to flip it over onto our plate here so it can cool. You don't want to let it cool in your cast iron skillet because it can accumulate moisture in there, and the moisture and the cast iron skillet don't go together well. Pops right out. Now we're going to let it sit here on the counter in this plate until it's time to enjoy it. Have a nice day.